How you doing? Today I want to talk about value engineering in the design and construction of a custom house that I just completed. And as I stated in the previous video, I'm going to get into some alternate methods, materials, and components on this project while still maintaining the quality, functionality, and the value for this project owner. So today's all about value engineering and saving costs and meeting your budget. Let's get started. This project was located on the north shore of the Sam Rayburn Reservoir in East Texas in St. Augustine County, as you see here. And he had two lots in this small subdivision, about a half acre. And on the lots, there was an existing trailer that he was living in with a garage and carport. The trailer is about 40 years old. It was in pretty bad shape, as you see here during the demo stage. And he wanted to replace it with a new custom house. And at the initial meeting I had with him, he gave me this schematic drawing. It was 50 by 30 house, 1,500 square feet. It was 2-bedroom with 1 office and 2 baths. And from that schematic drawing, I had my architect draw up a layout drawing for him. And we also included his garage, which he pretty sizable garage that he wanted, a 3-bay garage, and the initial size of this garage was 41 feet by 31 feet. And with the house and the garage and the layout and the demolition and everything, my initial preliminary rough costs were around $325,000 for this project. And he mentioned back to me, he said, well, I'd like to be around the $300,000 mark. I said, well, okay, then we're going to have to look at some value engineering alternatives for the project. And so the first item that I came up with is, you see the layout here, is to bring the garage closer to the street, where thereby eliminating some of the driveway. But I also asked him, I said, we can reduce that garage size from the 41 by 31 to 41 by 24 and eliminate about 420 square feet. So if we eliminated that, plus brought it in a little closer to the street, you're talking about $15,000 to $20,000 in rough costs on that value engineering item. The second item that I gave him, he wanted a hip roof design for his house and his garage, as you see here in the 3D that I put together for him. And when I was getting costs from the roof truss manufacturers, the hip roof design a little bit more expensive than the gable roof design. So I went back and I gave him I got pricing for the gable roof design also. And I found out that the roof truss manufacturer's price is $3,500 less than the hip roof design. So I presented that to him, and he accepted that item. The third item was the mechanical room. This is a layout of the mechanical and the AC and the electric and the utility room. Our first initial meeting was to have the utility room like this, and then above the utility room was to have the mechanical room to install the AC unit on the horizontal, and then we were going to install a energy recovery ventilator up there. Now the cost for that attic mechanic room was rough cost about $4,000. You're talking decking, insulation, drywall, studs and such. And then that attic stairs that you got to put in there. And I started looking at the components and the maintenance to these two different units. And this first unit here, the energy recovery unit, you see it has filters on the unit. And those filters and the maintenance have to be vacuumed every 2 to 3 months and then replaced every 6 months. So that means you're going up and down the stairs to do maintenance on this unit. Plus you have the maintenance on the air conditioning unit that's up there. You got to replace the filters on that also. So I asked him, I said, maybe what you want to do, since he was an older gentleman, instead of climbing those stairs all the time, let's look at putting the mechanical equipment on the ground level floor. And so this is a layout that I presented to him, and it ultimately we did. We had the air handler in the utility room on the left-hand side, and we built a chase wall in his office for the energy recovery ventilator. And then we had a 50-gallon water heater and a water purification system we also put in there. And so you save $4,000 by eliminating the mechanical room on the second in the attic, and you bring it downstairs and you add maybe another $500 for the chase wall and the doors and such. So there's a savings of $3,500 there. So from those three value engineering suggestions, we were able to look at around the $300,000 mark on the item. And here's your AC unit. It's accessible. It's a Carrier 5-speed heat pump system. And your energy recovery unit in the chase wall of the office. And it's easy accessible right here. As you see, you're going to have controls on this energy recovery unit to get to, so it's easy to get to. Plus, you got the filters you can clean out, and it's easier on that. So, as I stated, all three of those got us down to the $300,000 mark. Another value engineering alternate that I reviewed for the owner was the exterior zip wallboard system. I looked at this product and the price, and I compared it to traditional OSB board system with a standard house wrap. The permeability rate is comparable for both products. It all comes down to the properly installing and sealing the vapor barrier against the structure. In our instance, we installed a metal siding, and water's not going to penetrate this metal siding system from driving rains. If you have another exterior wall system, you may want to review the various products and compare their cost with the overall functionality. And we figured an estimated cost savings of around $4,000. Here's a summary of the value engineering suggestions that I performed for the owner at this preliminary design stage. These are rough cost estimates to try to get him to his budget that he was looking for. Now, when I met with him with these value engineering items, he informed me that he came into a little bit of money, more money, and then he met with his CPA, and she said to him, you need to spend that money, otherwise Uncle Sam the tax man is going to take the money. So he came back to me and said, well, I want to add value back into the house. So I'm going to get into that in the next video. I want to get into some things that we added into the project that added value to the house. So stay with me next week. I'll get it out, and thank you very much for watching.